Hello, my dear viewers and subscribers. I am glad to meet you through another lesson in American literature, that is Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. Now, I have seen that there are many PPTs and presentations under this title. Anyhow, this presentation is something different from the rest as it focused on themes, symbols, the main points the drama focuses. So let us move into the presentation. This presentation was prepared by one of my students, Miss Lincia Giftlin, and I must acknowledge her for preparing this presentation. Thank you, Giftlin. So let us move into the author, the dramatist, Arthur Asher Miller. He was an American playwright, essayist, screenwriter of 20th century, and his notable works are Death of a Salesman, All My Sons, The Crucible, A View from the Bridge. These are his works, and this drama was written in 1948, and it was enacted in Broadway Theatre in New York in 1949, and this drama was published in 1948. And it is a two-act tragedy. The setting was Brooklyn in New York, USA. The time of the play is 1940s. The play focuses the life of Willie, who is the main protagonist, with frequent flashbacks. And this play wins many awards: Pulitzer Prize for Drama, Tony Award for Best Play, and New York Drama Critics Circle Award. And these are the characters in the play. Willie, the protagonist, who is the salesman, and based on this character, the main character, the play entitled Death of a Salesman. So the title itself indicates that it's a tragedy. It ends with the protagonist, the death of the protagonist, Willie Loman, and his wife, Linda Loman, and they have two sons. The elder one is Beef, younger one is Happy, and Charlie is Willie's neighbor and who is a successful businessman. Bernard is a son of Charlie, who was a lawyer. Ben, who is Willie's wealthy brother, elder brother, and women, Willie's mistress, and Howard Wagner, Willie's boss. So these are the characters in this drama. And this drama has been written in two acts, Act 1 and Act 2. So this drama, Death of a Salesman, revolves around self-identity, unrealistic expectations, and powerlessness. This play addresses man's struggle with not being able to live up to his own expectations. It happens in everyone's life, and that has been dealt with means, that is, conflicts, flashbacks, and hallucinations of the main character, Willie, during his final days. Here, Willie, who is 63 years old, traveling salesman, and he returns home after an unsuccessful trip. He is disillusioned about his failures. He was upset and he felt depressed about his failures. He thought of successful life, but it cannot be attained at the age of 63. So he returns to his hometown with failures in a depressed mind. And as a result of that, he has suicidal thoughts. And he has two sons. We have seen in the character list itself, Biff, who is 34 years old, and he is also unsuccessful, just as his father. Happy, who is 32 years old, he is an assistant to an assistant in a departmental shop. So these two sons are also not wealthy or successful as his father expected them to be. So that happens, and this Beef unhappy, as they have seen their father return from his trip, and they went and hugged his father, and they used to wash his father's car, and they looked up their father as a hero in their life. They thought that their father returned successfully. But then Willie expresses his dislike for Charlie and Bernard. That is the reason for his dislike for others, maybe uh, because of due to his inferiority complex and unsuccessful life, and he has seen that his neighbors are growing rich and wealthy. Excuse me. But his life is stagnant with all his efforts. Here, the first son is an exceptional football player, but he struggles with mathematics. So, and he started stealing. That is pathetic in the middle class situation. Happy also flirts with neighborhood girls. And whenever time permits, Billy used to share his economical depression, degradation to his wife Linda. In between, Willie started reminisces the stockings, the gifts he has given to the woman once he has an illicit affair with. And in the course of the drama, Willie used to have daydreaming. And while he returns from his daydreaming, he scolds Linda for mending her stockings. So he watches Linda that he was mending her stockings, worn out the stockings, because she does not have any other option to wear stockings. So that stocking is a symbol of uh, uh, their poor life. They cannot afford to buy a pair of stockings. Instead, she was mending the worn out stockings. Charlie comes to meet Willie, and they both play cards. At that time, Willie also sees his demised brother, who is successful, and he reminisces that the demised brother has come from the wall and interacting with him. And who was this Ben? And Ben has a good decision maker, and in decisiveness, he is known for his decisiveness. So he went to the jungles of Africa and Alaska to find diamonds. And Willie remembers his father, who was a flute maker. At that time, Willie thought that how lucky his brother was, and he became very rich overnight. And he expressed his hardships in his job, but he cannot come up in the society as he expected to be. And Charlie, while he was playing with Willie. He offers a job, but he was being insulted by Willie. And Linda also suspects Willie's abnormal behavior, and she reported the state of mind to her sons. Biff is also disappointed and decided to please Willie, that is his father. And he decides to lend money from Bill Oliver to start a business. And now Willie is thrilled and he advised Biff. Linda also now and then convinced Willie about his job in order to put him away from depression. But meeting of both Willie and Biff end up in failure. And Oliver's attitude also breaks Biff's confidence. Willie's boss, Howard Wagner, also fires him from the job. So Willie encounters Bernard, who unveils the truth about Biff, that though he is an athlete and he is a soccer player, he cannot avoid, and situation put him in stealing. So dinner get together at Frank's Chop House with boys is also messed up because of that. Willie moves towards the washroom. The boys lived with all call girls in this slide. And young Biff failed in math exam once again. And Biff finds Willie with a woman in Boston, and his his idea of his thought about his father was totally shattered. His impression about his father was totally shattered once he finds his father with a woman in Boston. And as he failed, he cannot enroll in college, and he also led a disillusioned life just as his father, but at his young age. And Willie, after some time, he goes out and buy the seeds of carrot and pea, and he starts sowing the seeds in the barren backyard, and he started speaking to himself. So that reflects that how his mind was totally disturbed. Again, he sees Ben's ghost, and Willie speaks to Ben's ghost about his family after his death. And at last, he decided to end his life because he cannot fulfill the dream. He cannot attain his dream. So he felt that his life was failure, and despite in that situation, he wished to help his family by with the insurance amount that he thought if he ends his life, the family can get the insurance amount which was paid for him, paid. And while Willie moves out of the house in his speeding car, he met with an accident that is planned by Willie himself, and he passed away. And Loman family is in grief, and Beef remembers his father's father, and he promised that he must live a blissful life than his father. And Happy also decides to live like his father. And Charlie prizes Willie during the requiem. Now everyone leaves except Linda, and Linda speaks to her husband who was lying in the grave, and she just was expressing that she has paid off all the debt that was bought for the house. Now they are free from the debt, and that's what Willie expected and he worked very hard during his lifetime. So Linda says that he must have been alive to enjoy the life in the house that was their own now. Let us recall. So in Act 1, Willie is a man with American dream, that is to become very rich and successful, respected person and being popular. But at last he fails to pursue his dreams, and he trusts his sons would do it. Billy develops hallucinations and he worries that nobody likes him, which is the reason for his failure. So he thought that nobody likes him and everyone ignored him, and he feels that he was uh, he was being neglected by the society. That is the reason for his unsuccessful dream. And he gets jealous of Charlie and his son Bernard, who are very successful and they are living nearby. In Act 2, Willie, the protagonist, gets hope upon hearing that Biff is going to seek for a loan to start a business. On hearing the failure of the plan, all his hopes fade away. So a father cannot bear that. He can bear his own failure, but he cannot bear the failures of his sons too. So he was totally shattered when the future of his sons also become diminishing in front of his eyes. Willie's boss fired him from his job, and that too also made his condition even worse. Willie decides to end his life, hoping that the insurance amount could help his sons to grow at least, and he commits suicide in a planned accident. The family cries out of grief. In the requiem, Loman's family attend the funeral of Willie. Biff decides not to have dreams like his father. So, the life of Willie as a model for his sons, which is to decide whether to follow their parents, or to decide upon a new way to follow the dream, that is American dream. So Biff decides not to have dreams like his father, and Happy decides to fulfill his father's wish. And Linda, Willie's wife, that is Biff and Happy's mother, weeps thinking of her beloved's death during the requiem. So, what the themes of this drama, the beautiful drama, that is the American dream and family relationship. The American dream, a salesman who starts his life as a salesman like Willie, but he is unable to achieve the success he desires for. That happens even in everyone's life who try to come up in life and to be accepted and to be uh, to fetch fame in the society. But at last, only few people could achieve, and others they cannot. But here, the protagonist chose to suicide, but that is not the way to put forward. Life has to go on. So the American dream cannot be fulfilled by Willie, but his brother Ben, he fulfilled. And there are people who are successful. So, next one is family relationship. So, the relationship between father and son, between husband and wife, and between two brothers of different disposition could be seen in this drama through flashbacks, through real situations. So, in all circumstances, the relationship supported supported to raise from their ground to achieve something. So we could see through some incidents here that father tried to support his son's life, and Linda is very supportive to her husband, though she knows that he is unsuccessful. She packs up everything for him, and she motivates him that there is a way that they can be successful. And he Willie treats Ben as a role model, that he is very lucky enough to achieve the ladder of American dream, but why he cannot be? So he thinks in different way. So these are the themes you could see in this drama. And symbols. Here, the symbols, stockings, jungle, seeds, and flute, these are the symbols represented in this drama. The stocking represents the hiding, the imperfection, so represents that it's a moment of not revealing the imperfection, hiding imperfections in their life. And it is uh, an attempt, failed attempt. It showcases the failed attempt to be successful businessman, and it is an indicator of the strained financial circumstances the Lohman family underwent. So stocking represents all those uh, ideas in the drama, and jungle represents the antithesis of the middle class, that is the unsuccessful uh, way of life is represented through the jungle, which is always, it's a symbolic of darkness and dangers, as there is no path to find, there is no path to reach the other side of the forest. So that is jungle. Seeds symbolizes that Willie's desperate effort to plant something that would help his family to be successful. And it also represents the peace of the natural world that everyone in this drama longs for. That is seeds. That is the hope. Seeds maybe represent may represent the hope or the faith in future. And flute serves as an expression of past, and it is also an expression of flashback and Willie's memories, Willie's past memories. And here, this drama focuses on Lohman's ideals of American dream. He believed in all his life that American dream will pave the road to being successful and wealthy, but he has yet to fulfill that dream. Willie paints himself to be a very successful and family-oriented man, but in reality, Willie is not so. He has the constant support of his loving wife, Linda. The play centers around Willie's last day alive and ransom flashbacks of his past. These flashbacks portray the reasons why Willie has failed at many of his life's obstacles, including his job. The flashbacks reveal an affair that Willie had years earlier that gives a look into his relationships with his sons Biff and Happy. His relationship with Biff is strained because of this affair. Biff looked up to Willie and in turn was the apple of Willie's eye until Willie's affair led to Biff's resenting him. Because of this, Biff became a rebellious. His son became rebellious to his father in high school dropout. On the other hand, Happy is more successful than Biff, but still he strives for attention from his parents. Why this death of a salesman is important? It is a relatable issue in contemporary world. Many of the catastrophes faced by Loman family are recognizable to contemporary audience. The play initiates a dialogue regarding issues such as toxic masculinity, male suicide, and infidelity. In Death of Salesman, Willie Loman leaves his life for the American dream when he realizes he has unrealistic dream that has made poor life choices. He becomes disillusional. And so that is very important that the dream you must have in your life to be achieved. So you must know that what could be achieved, what could not be achieved in your life. So you must have a dream that must be realistic, that should not be uh, fantasy, that should not be unrealistic. So here, Willie's dreams are, but I cannot say that Willie's dream is realistic. Each and every person dreamt to be wealthy and rich and to be successful in their life. When they failed to do so, they didn't want to live a life at all. But uh, failure and success may happen in everyone's life, but we have to be strong enough to face both in a very balanced way. In such a way, we can have a peaceful life in our everyday. So, with this one, let me conclude uh, this drama, Death of a Salesman. I hope that you may understand the concepts, the ideas, themes, and symbols which has been presented by me. And you may also maybe at the verge of selecting or choosing options. Um, uh, at that time, you must be very realistic, unlike Willie. Um, so, and then the life will be successful and peaceful. So, with this note, let me conclude my presentation. Thank you, everyone. I will meet you in another lesson through my channel, Lit Ladybug. Thanks a lot. Bye.